Hi everybody, welcome to PUBG on the PlayStation 4, and today's video is a chicken dinner win, but a little bit more of an unusual one. It's a one-man squad dinner that I managed to pick up on the snow map on Vikendi. So, I tend to drop one-man squads if I'm doing challenges, so the Vikendi pass is out at the moment, and this one was you've got to drop at Cosmodrome a few times I think. So, I dropped at Cosmodrome, was wandering around hoping to bump into some people just to kill them and then drop in again, but nobody dropped a Cosmodrome with me. And I ended up with an M416 and a VSS and level 3 helmet and a level 2 vest I think I might have. So I thought, well, actually this is pretty good, this. I'm going to keep going. So the circle kind of appeared southwest of Cosmodrome, and so I made my way along the frozen riverbed and then into the circle. Now I've just engaged this chap a little bit and managed to miss him with my VSS. So circle tactics and positioning. The main thing with squads is actually to avoid giving your position away, because you don't want to get yourself into a gunfight, into a firefight with 4-man and 3-man squads, or even 2-man squads. You want to avoid it. You want everybody else to kill themselves so that you can pick up the chicken dinner at the end, you know, by knocking out a couple of them. Or you always want to have the advantage in gunfights. You want to be taking people by surprise, ambushing them, because remember, not only have you got to hit them, you're going to knock them the first time anyway. They're just going to get a knock, and then you've got to finish them off. And if there's 3 or 4 guys, or even 2 guys you're up against, that can be very, very difficult to do, because you'll knock one, he'll crawl behind cover, meanwhile the others will start shooting you, which is what happens in a moment as I have to start pushing up towards the safe zone. So what's going through my mind here is, right, well, I've got the VSS, so it's kind of okay to engage people at distance. That guy's seen me, he's looking back at me, so I think, ooh, right, okay, so we're going to have to smoke ourselves to get out of here and then move up into the circle. I like the fact that I've got a level 3 helmet, because that will save me from an instant death. And remember, being in a squad by myself, it is an instant death. But we're falling back on the basics, you know, listening out. Where are the gunshots coming from, so I can identify where the other members of the game are, you know, the enemies, where are they? And here we go. So the team to my right have just run out of those buildings. So this guy, you'll see him, he squats down to fire at me. So he stopped. So I'm like, right, okay, here we go. This is going to be a gunfight. Let's line him up with the VSS. Let's see if we can tickle him. He's going for it to get back behind cover. His mates are firing at me. And I managed to knock him. Now his other mate's behind that rock. Now I know I need to heal up. I know the blue is coming in, but again on Vikendi the blue comes in very, very slowly, so you do have time. Also, the fact that I've knocked one of them means that they're probably thinking about having to go and pick him up. They'll be trying to do that. So I blat them a couple of times and it's time to go. You know, I don't want to get caught in the blue. I can't try and take those on. But there's nothing wrong with tickling them a little bit more with the VSS. So the guy I knocked has died. So what I want to make sure now is that they don't rush me. I want to just try and dissuade them, get them to go a different way around the circle. Don't come towards me. So there's one of them. The other guy's firing at me while his mate tries to go for cover, and then they're both out, so they're running. Yeah, go on then. So now, right, okay, so I've got rid of that threat, so now it's a kind of, let's wait on the edge. Again, what I want to do is I want to wait right on the edge of the circle. I don't want to push in. There's still 10 people left. But if I push in as a solo player, chances are, if 2 people see me, you know, 3 people see me, I'm dead. If 2 people see me, I'm probably going to be dead as well. I want to be surprising people. I want to be shooting them in the back or in the side. And I want to be letting everybody else give away their positions and engage each other and kill each other, so that I can just come in. So here we go. Now, another good reason to run solo squads is it will give you plenty of experience of gunfights, because you do get into them. But gunfights where you're always going to be outnumbered. You know, where you're going to have to be taking on 2 or 3 people at the same time. And it makes you think in a different way. It especially makes you think about throwables. You know, the power of grenades, the power of Molotov cocktails, stun grenades and smoke grenades to do lots of things. And in fact, the reason why I win this one-man chicken dinner is because of a grenade, which you're going to see in about 5 minutes' time. So now I said, well, I know there was that guy round here, but I've heard firing, so he's probably moved up into the circle. I know there's those other guys to my right. They're a two-man squad now. So I think if I go round to this side of the circle, it's in a very open area, because again, remember, people are attracted to buildings. They love going to buildings and getting inside buildings and holding up. Whereas if I go up this quiet side, there's plenty of cover, and there's plenty of opportunities for me to play the edge, to surf the blue on the way in, and then if I see anybody, I've got the VSS to silently take me down. Just because although you can hear the VSS popping away when I'm firing it, trust me, when you're like 50 meters away, all you hear is the sound of the bullets hitting you or the trees and the ground around you. It is a very effective weapon for that, especially if you use it on auto and you've got an extended mag on it, so you can put 20 bullets into somebody. If you hit them with, with 10 bullets, all of them bang, they're knocked. And if you can hit them again, well, hopefully they'll be dead. But of course, what can happen, which is really good, you fire at somebody, you knock one of them, the other team return fire, which then gives away their position to other teams around, and they then get fired upon that way. So all I'm doing now is I'm looking around. The blue's coming in, just surfing the blue, coming in really slowly, just looking around, looking at the edges of all the trees, looking at the edges of all the rocks. Where are the enemies? Where are they? Where are they? 6 people left, so me and 5 others. At this point, you're really hoping that there's no whole teams of 4 left. You want teams of 2, teams of 3, and solo players. Because if it goes 1 versus 4, very, very difficult indeed. Now, I'm just about in the circle at this point, so it's a case of just watching, just to make sure nobody rotates around into me. So I'm just carefully looking around the rock, tucking myself in, making as few movements as possible, just listening out. Where are the other players? Taking a good look at that mini-map. What is going to be my next move? Now, obviously, my next move is going to be I've got to go forward a little bit and then cut to the left to get into the circle. Time to, think about a boost. Now, the next circle is the last circle as well, I think. So it's the one where it's going to disappear, where it'll all come down to health and who's got the most boost and who can heal fast. However, in squads, you very rarely get a situation where you'll have 2 squads, trying to out-heal each other. It always tends to be, a gunfight. So we're down to 5. So me and 4 people. Again, at this point, I'm really hoping that it's not me versus 4, because that would be a bad thing. Very difficult to win a gunfight versus 4 people. The blue's coming in. So I think, right, if I very quietly crouch running, crouch walking. I'm very aware that somebody might drop down from those rocks on the left, just on the edge of the blue. Someone could be up there. But I know I'm going to slowly creep, and I'm looking at that rock opposite, thinking, if I tuck myself up against that rock, that's quite a safe place to be, because people won't be able to see me from the top. Again, no gunfire, so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's me versus 4. Not a good situation, me versus 4. But again, not making any rash decisions. The terrain is very, very hilly, so I can't bring the VSS to bear from my position because I don't have the height. But I've got the 416 ready on full auto with a red dot to take anybody down if they rush me. At this point, again, if you take people down, you won't be finishing them off. You'll just be knocking them and then moving on to the next target. Right, the blue's tickling me a little bit. So now I've got to think, right, okay, so where do we go next? And again, I like the look of there. Put my marker at the centre of the circle so I know exactly where I need to go. When this blue circle disappears, when it constricts for the final time, it does loads and loads of damage. So what you want to try and do is you want to be ahead of it, you want to move in the centre of the circle so that if you get into gunfights, anybody who's already in that blue will get damaged. Now, a smoke grenade has just gone off on top of those rocks. So that's a little bit unusual. Maybe they meant to throw a real grenade. Who knows? So use that sound just to move up a little bit. Again, listening out. Right. Somebody's gone down. So it's me versus 3 at this point. So take a boost. Again, I'm very nervous. Player has come in. Now, this is where we use the grenade. A last hurrah, you know. Let's see what we can do with the grenade. Let's lob a grenade up. Get the 416 out. Start moving towards the centre of the circle. Someone dies to the play zone. The grenade knocks somebody else. This guy's looking in the wrong direction. Hip fire. And that, my friends, is a solo one-man squad chicken dinner on Vikendi. Thank you very much. If you've got any questions, put them down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I will see you again soon.